Solving quadratic inequalities. So as you can see here, we have a less than symbol. So we're trying to find all the x values that would make this a true statement. So the first thing we want to do is simplify both sides of the inequality. So this side here is going to simplify to x squared plus 6x plus 9. And what I did was I took x plus 3 times x plus 3 and FOILed it to get this expression. Next, I'm going to distribute the 6. Now that I've simplified both sides, I'm going to move all my terms to one side of the inequality. And I personally like to make my x squared term positive. So since it's positive, I'm going to move these two terms to the other side. Okay, so now that we have our inequality set equal to 0, we're going to go ahead and find the roots. So to find the roots, we need to solve this. So since we have a difference of two perfect squares, we can go ahead and break that up to x plus 9 and x minus 9. And then we set each factor equal to 0 and solve for x. So this factor here is going to produce a root of -9, and this factor produces a root of +9. Now that we know our roots, we're going to draw a number line. We're going to put our solutions on our number line respectively. Okay. Now, the solutions are either going to lie in this region over here, in between the two roots, or over here, or a combination of two. So we're going to test each region. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to test this region over here. So we're going to test, I'm going to pick a point over here on the to the left of -9. So let's choose -10. So plugging -10 into this right here where we had set it equal to 0. We get 19 is less than or equal to 0. Well, that's false, which means that this does not have any solutions in this region. So let's check a number between -9 and 9. Let's go ahead and check 0. So we get 0 squared. And this comes up to be -81. Well, that's a true statement. -81 is less than 0. So we know we can shade between the two roots. And then checking over here in this region, we'll go ahead and check +10. And again, we get 19, which is false. And so our solutions are going to lie in between -9 and 9. Since we do have an equal sign, that's going to mean that 9 and -9 are going to be included in our solution. Okay. And then lastly, once you have the region shaded that incorporates the solutions, I want you to write the solution as an interval. So our interval for our solution is going to be from -9 to +9. And we're going to include both of those numbers, so we're going to use a bracket on both of those. So what I'd like to see from you is your graphical solution and then your interval that represents the solution. Now finally, something additional, which is more of a pre-AP, get you ready for pre-calculus and calculus, is I want you to make a sign graph. So basically, when you inputted a -10, what sign did the result come out to be. So when we inputted negative 10, our sign of our answer was positive 19. When we entered in a 0, the sign of the value came out to be negative. And when we entered a positive 10, the sign of our solution is positive. And so this is the sign graph that I'd like you to incorporate into your answer. Thank you for your time, and hope you're having a good evening.